because of you and we have contacts, I built like a personal brand in Norway. I got gigs. I got all the Broadway shows for the Norwegian like Broadway contracts. I've done TV. Now I want to move. I really want to have the production company like you do. The production company. You have a production company into the motion pictures.
Okay.
But I don't see the practical way of not asking for raising money, and I'm a fan of that. I like to build from the scratch.
There's a practical way.
Yeah, so
it's just going to take you 7 years.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? You would you raise money? Because you talk all the time about do selling versus raising money, and I've always done that. That's the immigrant in me, right? And we just grind it out, and I'm not sure that should I now suddenly go out and raise money. It will take me 1 year, or should I do the 7-year thing?
I mean, I think it's a very personal question. I think there's a time to raise money. I think there's a time to do it yourself. One of the things that I like that you've got going for you is you're not trying to build some sort of business that doesn't exist or has some crazy technology behind it that you need to be first.
No, I want to build a boring business.
Right. I get it.
For me.
You want to build something that's boring by the standards of AI and cryptocurrency, but for you, it's exciting to build a production company.
Yeah.
To me, that's exactly, especially how old you are, that's exactly the scenario to wait and not give up control and deal with all that stuff.
Yeah.
It becomes a game of patience.
Just if I could.
Yeah.
How would you? Because I know all the marketing now. I know how I would like promote it, the film. But how would you sell it? Because in time that tickets in the cinema, like the theater tickets, would that be the only way? How would you go about selling a motion picture?
How would I market a motion picture?
No, how would you sell it? Like how would you
sell what
to get the revenue? So let's say.
Oh, you mean if I made a movie right now?
Yeah.
I would sell it traditional. I don't think there's any right this second.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to get the same economics. Like you could sell it up front to Netflix, right? You could, or Hulu or Amazon, but I don't think that this second. I would probably still go through theatrical and things of that nature.
So for the first project to get the developing, you would get an extra job or do an extra gig or do something that it's your money and you put it out to develop, or you would raise that money, or you would, because either way we need the money to develop it.
Based on what I know about you, which is little but a little bit, I would start with people. I in your scenario, and for a lot of people watching, if I really believe in myself, I think the best thing to do, well, let me phrase, I've never really raised money. I've got a secret wine project coming out this fall, and I raised money. Now let's ask me, instead of giving you, in theory, let me give you what I did. Even though I could have done it myself, I had a lot of different reasons why I wanted to, I raised money from people that I'm closest to, which is a very interesting game. I had to make a decision with myself that if I fail, I will personally pay back the $3 million.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd probably raise money from the closest people you know, and you say to yourself, if I fail, I'll spend the next 5 or 6 years paying everybody back.
Got it.
I think I love that idea because I think it keeps you disciplined. First of all, for all the people that have raised money and all the bullshit of Silicon Valley that I lived through in that decade, when you're do you know how many people, I mean, it happened again this week. Again this week, somebody emailed me to introduce me to somebody, and I could see the email below, and the guy's like, hey, can you get me to Gary Vee? This guy lost $300,000 of mine. Lost. I haven't heard from him, not a sorry, nothing. Just an email one day from the lawyer saying the company's folding and there's a couple of dollars and Gary, you'll be getting $17 back to reconcile. This is real. Haven't talked to him 19 months. Cold email, Gary Vee, can you meet this kid, see below. P.S. Haven't caught up with you since the last company, learned a lot. Feel ready for the next one. And so, to me, when you're this young and you've scrapped, It's very easy to get seduced to raise the capital.
I don't want to do that.
Understand. Very easy to.
Yeah.
When it's blind faces or even people like me that you kind of know, but I'm not in your inner 1550 circle. It's easier to lose their money. When it's easier to lose somebody's money, you play looser. House money. If you borrow it from the people that you have to know for the rest of your life, and then you have to go and execute, one, you're gonna first ask yourself if you're ready to do it.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna say, fuck that. I don't wanna lose my aunt and my best friend and my one business mentor's money.
Yeah.
Or you'll say yes, great, but you'll also know that if you lose, you've not only lost on what you're gonna do for 2 years, you're gonna lose another 5 years on the back end because you're gonna do whatever it takes to pay them back whole because you can't walk around with that guilt. I'm a very big fan. People say don't do it all the time, and I actually think it's the reverse. I think do it all the time because it forces you to do the right things.
Yeah, so raise from the closest.
I would raise from the closest
Put
or
it to development, and then sell it traditionally.
I would now, but again, let's play it out. Just because I know we're going a little long here, but I think it's a good learning experience. Cool, you raised 700,000. You're going and selling, you're a good salesman, you got a shtick, right? You got energy. You find yourself in LA, and Facebook hears about it and is now doing films, not just shows on Watch. And you get an email and they say that they want to pay you $2 million up front. You think you've got a blockbuster, but you also have this $700,000 nut behind you. You know, I think what people don't do is they don't act patiently. You could sell it, you could go whole, make some bucks. If it slams, maybe you left a lot of money on the back end, but you just gained so much leverage that you can go and get studios reaching out to you left and right. So
because of what?
Well, because if the reason a $2 million upfront deal to buy your film with nothing the back end for you is a good idea, is you've won.
Yeah.
And if it does great, you may be upset because you know you left maybe $10 million on the table on the back end.
Yeah.
But what people don't talk about is the fact that now you have a hit on your hands and people are reaching out to you to do the next one. Now maybe you're a one-hit wonder, maybe you're not, but those are the things I think you need to reconcile.
I want to set up for that so I can do the second movie and the third movie, and I don't care about my pocket, the back end, but business needs to go around.
I got it.
And somehow it needs to get revenue.
Well then I would make a movie and sell it.
Yeah.
Sell it without putting up
just raise the upfront development. Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah, you can do it. I didn't have any knowledge how to build a production company. Are you gonna do it on your own or with your friends?
No,
Bless you.
Of course, I need other people that are skilled at what they do, but it's like, you know, I'm a big hip hop fan, and I like JC and built Rockefeller, you know, when he didn't get signed, and you have all these people that has their own production company. I just want to tell new stories, you know, and put them to the light.
As long as you look at the things that you admire and really understand what the lineage was.
Yeah.
Like, there's a million people that have Rockefeller. Every single hip hop kid on Instagram, right now, if you hashtag hip hop, you click on any account, it's like young BBBBB, and underneath it's like, you know, his or her Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Rockefeller, you know, because he went out and executed it over a 25-year period.
Yeah. So for 1 year now, I have, just for my own sake, built a small production company that produces like social media content.
Of course.
Just for me to learn the corporate world.
Yep.
And by that, there's a lot of people that I probably could raise money, but I still want to, you know, I want to do it practical. I want to have the revenue. I want to do the sale. I like not do the sale, but I want to sell the movie. I want to.
Patience is your friend.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You got it.